Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much to the sponsors. I really appreciate it. Today we will be talking about a fairly recent publication by Vibeke Bischoff of the Roskilde Viking Ship Museum in Denmark. She is one of the, if not the main ship reconstructor in the museum at the moment, ever since the closing of the Ship Archaeology Institute that was based there years ago. It is one of the publications in the Ships and Boats of the North series. Quite a few volumes have been published so far, and they are renowned for the extremely high production quality of the books, the detailed illustrations, and are among the best examples of what an archaeological publication should look like. In this case, they are also highly useful for ship modelers. And any person who is interested in building a model of the Oseberg vessel really cannot do it without Vibeke Bischoff's The Oseberg Ship. It is a book based on detailed study and reconstruction and re-investigation of the ship burial from Oseberg, specifically the ship part. Brief recapitulation: the vessel was discovered in the early first years of the 20th century. It was immediately recognized that it is an important archaeological site. It was excavated together with the later chronologically but earlier excavated Jokstad vessel. So these two vessels really informed our knowledge of what a Viking ship looked like until the Skudlev Fjord excavations directed by Ole Krumlen Pedersen, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but was one of the great names and one the greatest scholars in the field of nautical archaeology. He really is the father of these series of books and the museum, and it is nice to see that the tradition is continuing after his passing on. Of course, with the emergence of the Skudlev ships, we recognized that these vessels are only one of the possible versions of what a Viking ship would look like, that within the same tradition of shipbuilding, there is much greater variation than we had anticipated until that time, until the excavation of the Skudlev wrecks. And that is one of the things that I always tell my students about nautical archaeology, that we do not like original. We like repetition. We like numerous examples of specific type, a specific tradition, a specific sequence of construction, because then we can look at the next level above. It's not just, okay, this ship is built this way, but now we can speak of tradition of construction. So returning specifically to the Oseberg ship, if I am to be somewhat cruel, but extremely accurate, this book kills this kit. Sorry, there are no two ways about it. Although there is some claim that the two are connected, that the kit was developed based on the book, even looking at this spread out of the vessel and comparing it to the location of the mast, it is always very clear that the two are have only passing acquaintance with each other. Enough about the kit, let's concentrate on the book. This is a step-by-step study of the surviving material, how it was treated, how it was recorded before, how the new recording, informed from decades of experience based on the Skudlev wrecks, is forcing modern scholars to reevaluate the evidence provided by the original Oseberg ship. And this, I think, is what is so valuable for ship modelers, because the book is detailing every plank, every timber. It is showing how it was put together, what deformation it has suffered through the burial process, and, you know, 1100 years underground before it was excavated. And it is gone all the way into the construction of the modern replicas. The first, an earlier replica of the vessel ended up in tragedy, but this is how Ms. Bischoff, Dr. Bischoff got involved with the project by developing, reassessing the original archaeological evidence in the process of designing a new replica for the ship. And I'm opening this page particularly because of the physical models of the vessel that are used in study and analysis. Because I periodically keep on repeating that there is a direct connection between the ship modeling art and ship reconstruction as a field. Yes, these models are hardly, although they have their own charm, they have their own beauty, at least in my eyes, very jaundiced and prejudiced eyes, if I may add, they're hardly display models. They are pure research models, but this is where we have the connecting point between ship modelers who build beautiful display models, and those of us who use models as essentially research tools, nothing more than research tools. And these models do inform us. They provide significant information. Among the things described in the vessel, of course, here are the rigging elements, blocks, tightening systems for setting up the shrouds, the toggles from the rig. All of this is provided with measurements, with drawings, and is an absolute treasure trove of information for ship modelers, if only ship modelers would decide to build from scratch from archaeological evidence rather than from yet another kit. I should be polite and not give any descriptors of the available kits. But this is the sort of information the SYSTER channel is the place to find eventually a page through the book. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I will guide your attention to the link below the video where you can obtain the book. And with this, I think I shall wish you a most pleasant rest of your day. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you even more for sponsoring the channel. I wish you all the best. Thank you.